We talked to Tony White on Friday as they get ready for the scrimmage. But he had a lot of interesting things to say, Sip, just about where this unit's at.
Well, one of the big questions I think the biggest question mark in my mind on this defense is, do they have enough, do they have enough big dude depth? I call it big dude depth. And I'm basically talking about 250 plus pounds, but also, you're talking about 290 plus, the biggest dudes. Do they have enough? And Matt Rule pointed this out this week. Depth to him isn't about the first and second and third game. It's about, what's it about, Sean? It's about November. It's about October.
And keeping your top guys, shaving off just enough snaps to make them their best in November.
So White's answer to that question, I asked him, do you have enough big dude depth? He said, look, everybody in the country is asking themselves the same question. Georgia wonders if it has enough big dude depth. So first of all, there's that. And he says one of the ways he takes care of it is through rotation, but also through the willingness in his scheme. His scheme allows for playing like MJ Sherman in a D-line role at 255 pounds, right?
Move him around, find matchups.
Bam, you got it.
Well, and I've seen Tony White present. Like, his big thing is take your best player and put him on their worst player.
Right.
And then create the play where it's a one-on-one for that guy.
Right.
The way they line it up where they know like a guard or a tackle is going to be matched up one-on-one on, let's say, MJ Sherman.
Right. And so it's not just MJ Sherman. I mean, it's those other jack guys.
Could be Luke Reimer. It could be
or Chief Borders.
Jamari Butler.
Yeah, those guys got to be in the 240, 250 range. They're big guys. I mean, I saw Butler the other day up in the press availability. Now that he's got serious size now. So a lot of it's that. The guy to watch is Cameron Lenhart. I would, based on what I've heard this week, Sean, is you would say I think he's a top 4 lineman on the team. I think the 3 starters are going to be Nash, Hutmacher, Ty Robinson, and Blaze Gunnerson. That's what we believe,
top
right?
3 guys there. And that's how it's been all August.
But I think right on their heels is Lenhart and Judy. I would think Judy. And I would think then after that it's
Ruquan Buckley
and Wallene, those type of guys. I think Princewell is somewhere in that group, right?
Nicked up.
He's been nicked up. That's right.
Now, we did learn a little bit more on the secondary. I did just get right down to it with Quentin Newsome and asked who's playing corner with him.
Well, who did he say?
And read the Nuggets, by the way, at HuskerOnline.com. But Malcolm Hartsdog is a corner with him right now. He mentioned Tommy Hill. He mentioned Dwight Boodle, and he mentioned Ethan Nation. So those were the 5 primary guys he mentioned. I don't know. I would assume Sincere Safiala is also in that group. But what you're looking at to me right now is a Hartsdog Newsome corner combination with Gifford as a safety, with Singleton as a safety, and probably the other safety being Omar Brown.
He's playing safety. He didn't say Rover. Omar Brown.
Well, Gifford's a Rover, right?
I see. We always do this. Stop.
No, I think he's a Rover.
Stop.
I think he's a Rover.
You don't know, though, and I don't know. And what's interesting is about what you said is you have Newsome at one podium saying he's playing corner. Then you have Omar Brown at another podium saying Newsome's playing corner and safety, and so is Hartsdog. They're moving him around. I'm not going to get caught up in this who's playing where because they're moving him around.
Well, and it kind of goes back to the whole formula of playing 17 to 25 guys. In order to do that, you have to do this.
Sean, I think it could get really frustrating if we do this every time where we try to say who's playing where. They're moving them. Omar Brown, you can listen to that. He said, no, Newsome's playing both corner and safety.
I do think Ethan Nation we know is coming, but I do think Dwight Boodle's one to watch.
Yeah.
He was here early.
I know.
You know who? I mean, and maybe he's in the conversation.
Scares me when we talk about
Corey Collier. It's been quiet on his camp front. You just don't.
Judy and Collier. It's been quiet up front with Elijah Judy, Collier in the back end. It's been quiet with those.
You guys. Just have for what? Yeah, and maybe there's more that we don't know, or maybe they are there and no one's at, but they're not. They're not brought up.
No.
Singleton looks good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you look at that kid; he's a big son of a gun.
Yeah, and we've talked to him too. We had those interviews last summer, and I had a long talk with him. He's really mature. I mean, I walk away from an interview like that thinking, I think I'd trust that guy.
Louisiana kid.
Yeah. I mean, he's really into horses, horse farm.
Yeah, it's an interesting deal. I mean, kid owns horses back home.
Yeah, he does. So Sean, I just think it's a fool's errand to try to identify positions back there in a lot of cases. They're defensive backs, like Cooper said.